Uh-oh. I don't know if that worked. Let's just quickly go to video producer. No, it did work. Okay, we're good. Yeah, okay. I can see the second part in the video producer tab. Alright, we are good. Now we're just gonna wait for a person to come back. It's a little weird, but there's not much I can do about it because rendering and exporting from YouTube from my computer just was not working. I hope the person who is here comes back. Okay. Might as well also do the intro for YouTube, I guess. Kind of weird. But, good afternoon and salutations. My name is Calypso, aka Mint Carousel, and welcome to the stream. Welcome to part 2 of the stream. So, let's get back into it. When I return to my room later that night, my book of cards starts to glow again. Name Alan Scorpion. To no surprise, it turns out to be his name card. Keiko said that I should check if I'm muted, and I'm not. Said that you could find him easily on the internet, so I ran a quick search. Little did I expect this many results from a simple name search. Obviously, that's just what he projects to the world, and as like a business mogul, entrepreneur, or whatever. But who he is truly as a person, you know, what possibly could have caused his death and what his regret would be probably has nothing to do with the side of himself that he shows to the world, you know? Or so I think, but things get complicated very quickly. There's nothing on him from before he inherited the company at age 16, let alone anything related to how he may have died 3 weeks ago. No need to mention that his regret remains a complete mystery, too. But knowing his occupation, where he's from, and especially his name, is a big step forward. Maybe worthwhile to head back to the library again and look through some newspapers and magazines. As for right now, I've got something more important to do, transcribing the letter from Keiko. Written on the paper are her thoughts and feelings toward her husband and child. She actually didn't write it herself, but as one of her friends. That means it'll be far less painful for her husband to read compared to one coming directly from her. Her writing is nice and tidy. Just reading it feels like I'm getting a glimpse at the sort of life she led. I involuntarily tear up when I come to her message of thanks to me at the very end of the letter. The regret of a mother who couldn't fulfill her duty. The letter never makes it explicit, but those feelings are definitely imbued in her words. I wonder, is a mother's love represented by her determination to live with her for her child's sake? That would make love the first thing a child receives. I'm sure their name comes after. And the name represents their life, so I'm sure Keiko wants to bestow such a meaning onto her own child. Families work in a myriad ways, but Keiko really is attached to the feelings behind one's name. That's why it ended up being her regret. I recall what she said about my name this afternoon. That's the one and only thing, other than my life, that I received from my mother according to my gran. In which case, she must have also passed on her determination and love when I was born. I wonder if I'll ever be able to pour that same love into another person. I shake my head to clear the thoughts away before I dive too deeply into them. There's no point in wading through them when none of the answers are there. The same applies to this question. The reason I don't know my own regret is because I don't know myself well enough yet. I might be able to take pride in my own life once I learn my regret. But even if I don't make it through... No, scratch that. I know that I want to make it through. Reading Keiko's letter has finally helped me to finally resolve I need. Should Keiko be eliminated tonight, I'll mail this letter the very next morning. That'll be my top priority. Once I make that decision, the day begins to wind down. Okay. Alright. There stands Alan, as motionless as ever. It should go without saying, but this is in the quote of fate. A voice rings throughout the court, clear as a bell. Parka arrives to greet the participants, her innocent smile ongoing deception. Oh boy.
相変わらず君は思わしげなことを言うね。本当は何も考えていないだけなんだろう。あら？そうだとして、あなた様に関係がありまして？
Alan stares at numeral 2 as she talks with Parka. His gaze shifts between her and the girl beside her, numeral 1. What? Who am I? Who is the narrator? He deduces that they are acquaintances, having noticed them conversing during the first night. Numeral 2 has proven to be far more wary than he imagined, with little to show from his information hunt on her. Meanwhile, Numeral 1 is willing to risk herself for the sake of another participant. Eliminating her should prove to be an easy task. He has no doubts about that, and yet he finds himself curious about her. She chose to stand in his way when he had Keiko cornered, for reasons even unknown even to him. The fire in her eyes back then was so... Okay, does Rinka elect Keiko? Let's see. Alan's train of thought is interrupted by the goddess's announcement. Realizing that such thoughts are but a hindrance, he focuses instead on the matter at hand. The clock's movement signals the beginning of the night's election process and starts with numeral 1. The goddess claims that one's position in the dial provides neither advantage nor disadvantage, but Alan disagrees. Should two participants elect the same person, one can earn priority by revealing a card about oneself. Okay. However, the higher your numeral, the easier it is to prevent the situation from occurring. The only reason to take such a risk when one knows that the person is... The only reason to take such a risk is when one knows that the person they plan to elect is in possession of a card one needs. To that effect, as numeral 12, Alan feels that he has a significant advantage. Okay. Alan considers the idea that numeral 1 will opt to elect Keiko. Should she be in possession of all 3 of Keiko's cards, she could create a situation where both she and Alan elect Keiko. It would be a win-win situation for her, as it would result in either Keiko's survival, or one of his personal cards being revealed. That's why he has no intention of electing Keiko should numeral 1 do so. Okay! Only good things can happen from it. Like, 1, the character development, oh my god, and having to experience the death, oh my god, of Keiko. 2, Keiko would be with a friendly face in her in her last moments in reality. And 3... is there a third one? Oh yeah, you get information. Yeah, you get information, and that's good for you going forward. it's good. It's good narratively by being a decent person and also getting an advantage in the death game you're forced to participate in. So, the risk of being caught up in a simultaneous election far outweighs the benefits of gaining one of the cards Keiko possesses. Yeah. He's well aware of his position within society, so he fully expects that Keiko has already discovered his name. It is likely that she's revealed this information to Numero 1 as well. However, his name is the only thing she should have been able to find out about him. As such, Numero 1 would have to eliminate... Should Numero 1 have to eliminate Keiko, she will gain no new information about him. Okay, we're not doing it. Numero 1 passes on electing her. This comes as no surprise to Alan. In fact, the odds of this happening were far higher than the scenario he anticipated earlier. As the clock hand spins around, Numero 11, who had elected someone last time, passes as well. That woman happens to be the one he's most wary of. It is plain to see that she's a far cry from ordinary, not only due to that body of hers, but also because of her attitude. For instance, she blows him a kiss as the clock hand slows to a halt in front of him. This speaks volumes about her character. He mutters under his own breath, preventing anyone from hearing him. Okay.
僕は8番の女を指名する。
He states his intention with apathy. In this moment, the platform he stands on rumbles and begins to ascend. Both his and Keiko's platforms rise up to the upper stratum. The goddess appears before them there, her face contorted into a wry smile. Keiko's composure serves as a bit of a surprise to Alan. It is hard to believe that she could be so composed after the despair she put on display when he obtained her name card. Much like Ro before her, he expected to hear some emotional wailing. This marks Alan's second time electing someone, so he's acquainted with the process. Once his cards have gathered in front of him, he has only to read out the relevant ones. But of all the current cards, those related to Ro have lost their glow. Yeah, that figures.
Keiko Kamebuchi. 死因は脳出血だ。
Her cards react as he reads them aloud.
未練は
ねえ、あなたにも親がいるでしょ。家族がいるでしょ。
Huh? What are you doing, Keiko? Her question interrupts this process.
余計なことを話す。
私は脱落して元の死の運命を戻るけれど怖くはないわ。息子がいるもの。ほんのわずかな時間だったけれど私は母親だった。名前はつけてあげられなかったけれどきっと強く育つわ。
Oh?
名前はその人の本質ではなくあくまで願望希望だもの。
Ah.
あなたにも名前をつけた両親がいるでしょう。ご両親のためにもせめて無関係な人を傷つけるのをやめてちょうだい。
Okay.
両親のためにすでに死んだ親のために何かできるとでも
I mean, yeah. It's the least you could do. I mean, we're all in this hurting and kill each other to begin with. We might as well do the dead a solid. It's a fucking weird turn of phrase. Okay.
死んだら全てが終わり無だだから生きている人間はすべからく自分の目的を達成するために生きているべきだ
Interesting philosophy. What could have happened to him that makes him think that? He's a business entrepreneur, so obviously he's fucking selfish. Selfish prick. I wonder if that has anything to do with his parents and how he got the company. Okay. Alan finds himself infuriated by Keiko's words. His face may remain emotionless, but his eyes scream another story.
自分のためそして守るべきものを守るため
Oh! Oh, whoa, what's important? What's important to you?
無関係の人間を殺そう無関係なところでどんな嘆きが生まれようが
Uh-huh.
そう
Oh, damn it. His tone is bitter. While her words have riled him up, he never allows his emotions to slip off his tongue. He feels that he's handled the situation in a controlled manner. However, Keiko offers him a smile before continuing.
あなた無理してるわね。
お前の未練は子供の名前だ。
He says this to cut her off. Next, the three cards whose contents he spoke around float away from him. Once they reach the middle of the Quid of Fate, they come together and form a triangular shape. Once in formation, they begin to emit a white light one by one. Alan knows what comes next, so he closes his eyes and allows it to happen. The event took place in an intensive care unit. A nurse carried a sleeping newborn over to its mother. Its voice, that of an angel, its existence, the very concept of hope made flesh. One couldn't say for certain whether or not her final words were heard at all.
名前は希望じゃない。人を縛る鎖だ。
Okay. That is the reason Alan prefers to take name cards from those he eliminates. He is fully aware that regret cards are the most difficult to obtain. Regardless, he believes with full sincerity that names chain their bearers down, that one can come to understand another by knowing their name.
やはり知られていたか。だが。
Sticking to his beliefs, he has already decided which card to take. Interesting.
恵子さん。
Numeral 12 returns to the court, having finished his election. He chose to take my name card. Of all the options he had, Alan Scorpion purposefully took my name card. Keiko likely had cause of death and regret cards as well, so he must have gone with me because he's already met me in person. I had the option of electing Keiko too. Had he still tried, I could have created a situation where either Keiko would survive or would have to reveal one of his personal cards. But I noticed an inherent flaw in the numeral system because of that. I can say for sure that he would never have elected her if I had done so.
君の名前を。
大丈夫。
Yahara glares at him. I'd let her do the same if he had gone for her name. But I'm not glaring. I pierce him with my eyes instead. Not only do I already know his name, we've already met, and he also knows the area I live in. It was only a matter of time before he found out my name. To my own surprise, I'm not shaking. His presence is as imposing as ever, but I can now stare him dead in the eyes without issue. It's my way of telling him, bring it on.
やはり似ているな。
Resemblance? I don't bother to ask what he means by that. I can't say for sure whether or not he's telling a story of his own, but right now, I have zero desire to exchange words with him.
それでは今宵の脱落者は1名。これをもって選定を終了といたしましょう。
Shortly after, Parka brings an end to tonight's round. Oh, my goodness. I wake up feeling refreshed. I must have gotten a good night's sleep for the first time in a while. Hello? Okay. Keiko has been eliminated, but I don't feel sad about it, just empty. My eyes wander over to my table. Both the letter I received from Keiko and the one I had written are both there. However, when I get up to take a closer look at Keiko's letter, its contents have vanished. Her actions during divine selection, as well as their effects, have been erased. I next check my transcript of her letter and confirm that it remains intact. This proves that those eliminated will be remembered by their participants, and their actions at large will be undone. But their actions. However,
世界は完全には変わらない。
The letter she gave me still being here proves that much. Had I been eliminated, chances are that my letter wouldn't have disappeared either. This is what I had written on it. In other words, that goddess can't rewrite the world's events completely. That might explain why Naomi has a faint recollection of an event that is supposed to have been undone. Speaking of Naomi, I'm curious to learn how much she remembers about Keiko. I can't bring myself to ask her, though. I'd rather she remained as uninvolved as possible.
Miharu. Naomi.
I end up shouting their names without thinking. I can't help myself, considering the circumstances. I grit my teeth and rush to get ready for school. I come across Naomi right as I arrive at the school gate. It's a bit awkward seeing her now after what happened last week. Regardless, I try to act as I usually would and say good morning to her.
おはようございます、先輩。私も今日から本格的に文化祭の準備を始めることにしました。看板とか装飾とか考えないといけませんし。もちろん、みんなにコーヒーの入れ方も教えます。頼りないかもしれないですけど、頑張ります。だから、来月の文化祭には先輩も絶対来てくださいね。
うん、もちろんだよ。
I noticed a remarkable difference she's made between Saturday and now. She seems to have changed her hairstyle as well.
そういえば、ナオミ、コンタクトにしたの？
はい、もともとコンタクトにしようって思ってましたので、メガネ割れちゃったのが偶然いいきっかけになりました。
Okay. After that exchange, we both make our way into the building separately. I can tell she's tiptoeing around what happened last week. Something else is on my mind all throughout the day at school. Has Keiko's son been born following an elimination? That's why I make my way to the hospital, figuring they will at least tell me that much. As it turns out, he has indeed been born. At the same time, they inform me that Keiko passed away 3 weeks ago. With that knowledge gained, I take a seat in the lounge to collect myself. It's not easy to deal with learning that someone's died. When I sit down, a man wearing a suit and carrying a baby passes by. He must have just gotten it examined. Turns out it's Keiko's husband. I've never spoken to him before, but I summon the courage to do so now. Okay. I don't want to keep him for too long, so the conversation only lasts around 5 minutes. His mother lives close by, he claims, so she's currently taking care of the baby. He left work early today, since it needed an examination, though. He said he wants to do as much for the baby as he can. I was worried, considering what Keiko had said about her mother-in-law wanting to give the baby a more trendy name, but she actually sounds like a nice lady. The baby's name, however, really takes me by surprise. Kamibuchi Haruki. It's a miracle he's ended up being given the name that Keiko wanted him to have. Keiko must have told her husband about the reason behind the naming choice while she was still alive. The K in Keiko represents a type of olive plant in China, as well as Japan's katsura trees. Her name is in reference to how pleasant smells are associated with sincerity. Not only that, but also because her parents wanted her to be as healthy and sturdy as a katsura tree. Having remembered that after Keiko's death, her husband told his mother that he wanted to decide on the baby's name himself. He wanted to give the child a name linked to trees, like his mother, but he couldn't think of anything appropriate. Because he wanted his son to be straightforward and earnest, he decided to use a kanji for tree and then added Haru to the beginning since the child was born in spring, thus Haruki. I think back to what Keiko had written in her letter.
私はカツラの木のように健康で丈夫ではいられなかったけれど、そうありたいと願い続けていました。名前は親から子に与える願いであり希望です。
I make my way back to the lighthouse once our conversation ends. I can't sit and twiddle my thumbs anymore. From here on out, I need to act with dignity. Three days have now passed since Keiko's elimination. In terms of information, I'm at a bit of a standstill. I plan on doing more research on Alan, but finding the time has proven difficult, considering I can't just close the store. Time isn't the only issue either. There's also the fact that I just plain suck at doing proper research. I'm aware that I can't let things go on like this. I decided to close the store and head to the library for a bit today. I can look for business reports and interviews that involve him, maybe. I have to force myself not to consider how much easier it would be if Naomi were with me. It would be so much easier. After closing up the store and before going to the library, I come across an unexpected scenario. A lone girl is lying on the pavement. Looks like she's passed out. No. Hold on. She is... person. She's one of the participants. Okay. Okay. Well... I mean... Ooh. What do I do? If I leave her be, then nothing well, if I talk to her, then I can get information on her, but also she can get information on me. But if I leave her be, nothing happens, no forward progress. I'm going to say that I'm gonna talk to her because I want the drama. I want to see a good story, and and talking to her sounds like it's going to bring up some good scenes. I feel like. I tap on her shoulder and call out to her with concern in my voice.
Huh?
She reacted to my voice, so I know she's conscious at least. At first I thought I'd have to call an ambulance, but it looks like there's no need. After a while, she turns to look at me. I feel myself turn pale as her face is revealed by the sunlight. I've seen her 3 times. Not just anywhere, but in the dream world. At the court of fate. This is numeral 10.
どうしてまさか名前があなたにも知られて
If that's the case, this is bad. It would mean I've spent too much time on other things than divine selection. I'm so caught up in investigating Alan that I forgot about all the other participants.
はい。ソーニャはソフィア・プリズネッツィ・アレクセーブナと申すものであります。長いからソーニャと呼んでください。
はあ。
いや、それはおかしいだろう。
I insult her almost out of instinct. But can you blame me? No participant should just introduce themselves like that.
一つお願いがあります。
Uh-huh. I say nothing, so she keeps on going.
お腹が空いて動けなくなってしまったのであります。何かご飯を食べさせてください。
She asks for a meal in a very stilted manner of speaking. Based on the blonde hair and blue eyes, I presume she's from Russia or something else in Northern Europe. She shouldn't be able to understand or speak Japanese without the aid of her card book either. However, unlike Alan, there are noticeable flaws in her language fluency. I don't even have my book on me right now, which must mean...
日本語がわかる？はい。日本は大好きであります。すみませんが、空腹が限界を迎えそうであります。あと5秒くらいでおしゃべりできなくなります。え？ちょっと。
She shuts her mouth after dropping that bombshell, as if her battery has run out of juice. Aww. I do feel sorry for her, so I end up taking her to a nearby family restaurant. There's plenty to eat at Lion House, but letting another participant in probably isn't the smartest course of action. Thus I brought her here instead. I'm shocked to learn that she seems to have told the truth about her name. I checked my book before leaving, and lo and behold, I had obtained a new card. She hasn't had a single word after her food-related shutdown, so I ordered her some spaghetti bolognese and Salisbury steak. Salisbury? Salisbury? Those seem like safe bets for someone her age. When the food does arrive, Sonya's body shoots up straight as an arrow. I can't believe she has to die. She ignores my reaction and proceeds to dig in. I figure she'll go hog wild, but nope. She takes the time to wrap the pasta around her fork, and even uses the knife and fork to cut the Salisbury steak. Salisbury? It can't be Salisbury because the I and S are switched. But why do I feel like it's Salisbury? I don't even know what that is. I've never heard. I don't even know what that is. She even finishes off all the corn that comes on the side without issue. What's more, she eats all the pasta without splashing any sauce. Hard to believe that someone who just collapsed from hunger could be such a dainty eater. It's spaghetti. It's actually Italian, kinda. It is a nice touch that she pauses to think of the next word. But also, I feel like I'm going to cut the dialogue off quite a lot, unless I'm cognizant of it. Okay.
いや、選定期間中はそういう理由じゃ死なないんだよね。
I wonder what would have happened if I ignored her. No point thinking about it, I guess. Chances someone else would have done the same thing I did. Well, we could find out, but I'm not going to. The big city might be somewhat heartless, but I doubt people would be willing to ignore a child who had collapsed on the street. Oh yeah, for this playthrough of Fatal 12, I won't be going back to change anything about my decisions no matter what. I want to see the end result of the decisions I would make. Yeah, so anyway, moving on.
食べて元気が出たならいろいろ教えて。あなたのことを。
あなたではなく、ソーニャであります。そして、スカのことをお伺いしますが。
Well, it looks like she can use some more difficult words after all. I wonder which word was difficult in Japanese. I don't... Okay. I brought my book along and her bag looks like it can fit hers, so right now we should have both of them with us. Despite that, her stilted speech remains. Surely I must be speaking Japanese all on her own. If she were speaking Russian, then the book would translate it into fluent Japanese for me. They may have. I have to remember that she has to die. I'm about to say no and that she's had enough, but then she unleashes the sad puppy dog eyes on me. Come on. Is there a sprite for it? Damn it. I give a sigh after checking my purse. I wish I knew why I'm being this kind to another participant. She struggles to contain her excitement at the menu options.
Sonya はファミレスというところに初めて来たであります。いろいろ目移りしてしまって選べないでありますよ。洋食も和食も中華もどれもあるなんてボルチまであります。日 東の地で食す母国料理がどんな味か興味も湧いてきたであります。
Well, if you're interested in that, in a Japanese take on Russian cuisine, I suggest that you do not go for the beef stroganoff. Is anyone gonna get... Okay. Boys don't know this.
時々変な言葉になるよね。で、ボルシチが母国料理ってことは、ソーニャはロシアの出身ってこと？
はい、ボルシチは正確にはウクライナ料理でありますが、ロシアでも一般的な料理であります。
Very interesting.
でもさ、ロシアにもファミレスはあるんじゃないの？だったらそこまで珍しがらないでも。
Yeah, but you know what didn't exist in Russia? Her family. Oh god. Or a family that loved her.
ソーニャ、家にいることがほとんどでしたから。あ、決めました。ネギトロ丼と親子丼とカツ丼にします。
Just gonna quickly look up what these are. Negi. Oh my god. Toro. Don. Rice dish from Japan. Tuna. Wait, images. I wanna see. Aha. Okay. Oyak. Oh, yeah. Godan. Ayokodon. Italian child donburi. Rice bowl dish with chicken, egg, sliced scallion. The ingredients are all similar together in a kind of soup. Soy sauce and stock, and yeah. Oh, poetic reflection of both chicken and egg being used in the dish. The parent-child. Oh, that's interesting. Kind of dark. And I'm pretty sure I know what katsudon is. But let's look it up anyway. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the pork cutlet bowl. Yeah, okay, yeah. It's that thing. Yeah, okay. I know where I know it from. Ice skating.
あ、ボルシチ頼まないんだ。っていうか、全部丼物でいいの？お米の量がすごいことになるよ。
Also, it's like 3 things.
いや、そもそも3つも追加注文するの？ちょっとって言ったよね。
Okay, yeah.
ダメでありますか？
Is that new? Are your parents rich and don't have time for you? Is that your regret? She tilts her head and rubs her stomach.
頼んだんだから、ちゃんと食べきってね。
Uh-huh. Sonya watches with starry eyes as they press the buzzer that summons one of the waitstaff. I guess she's never seen that either. I can't help but sigh in disbelief at how big of a pushover I am while she happily eats her bowls of food. Clearly, I'm an easy target, aren't I? It could all be part of her plan, too. She uses the fact that she's a kid to lure me into a false sense of security, and then takes advantage of it to get all sorts of info out of me. Granted, I don't get that impression from her whatsoever, especially when she's the one who's revealed her own information to me. I sigh again, and this time in regards to how confusing this whole situation is. My head hurts.
ほふー、お腹いっぱいであります。ごちそうさまでしたであります。
She's cleaned out all 3 bowls without skipping a beat.
お箸使えるんだ。
はい、ソーニャは日本が大好きでありますから、言葉も文化もたくさん勉強しました。
Just super weeaboo. Just like stronger than all of us combined.
日本は侍と魔法少女の国である
That's
ことは
girls.
バッチリ勉強してきたであります。
Huh.
ぜひ一度会ってみたいものであります。
Spoken like a true weeb, actually.
ところでそこのお嬢様。
Ojo-sama. Ojo-sama?
お嬢様っていうのは違うかな。名 前を教えるわけにもいかないし、お姉さんの方がいいかな。
では改めましてお姉様、お願いがあります。
Okay. I decided not to bother pointing out that I told you to just use sis, Anai-chan. He's like, Ore-sama.
この流れだとデザート？もういいよ。
Oh, it's definitely not
その代
that.
わり
It's gonna
デ
be...
ザート食べたらちゃんと話してね。これは約束。
I'm predicting a dramatic shift in tone.
ありがとうございま
Ah,
す。約束、
was she actually
ソー
getting
ニャ、
her?
約束したでありました。あ、そのボタンはソーニャに押させてください。
Just to press the button. She ends up getting both a parfait and a cake for dessert. Wow. Girl can eat. How could she fit all that into her tiny body? Watching her eat makes me want to get something for myself, so I order a small parfait.
ごちそうさまでした。
She gives me a thorough review of her dessert after obliterating it. Obliterating it! Me! I'm amazed she finishes both of hers before I do mine, even if I am taking it slow.
もういいでしょ。
Make it obvious that it's time for her to talk. She may be a kid, this is still a negotiation. I give her food in exchange for telling me what's going on, why she was collapsed outside of Lion House, and why she revealed her name so readily.
わかりました。
Okay, here it is.
ソーニャはソフィア・プリズネツィ・アレクセエブナと申すものであります。長いのでソーニャと呼んでください。
いや、それさっき聞いたから。
お姉様は面白いであります。
からかってる？
Uh-huh.
声も可愛いであります。
What is your end game? Do you have one? Do you know what's going on?
もってことは他に何が怖いの？
顔でありますね。初めてお会いした時から怖い方だなぁと思っていましたであります。
Huh. So she says with a bright and beaming smile. In all honesty, I'm aware that I can look pretty scary at times. But being told that to my face kind of hurts. And by a kid.
って話をそらさないで。
すみません。お姉様はいい人だったので、もう少しお話をしたかったんでありますけれど、ご迷惑でしたね。心配しなくて大丈夫であります。今週末の選定、次の脱落者はソーニャでありますから。
God. Are you like good? Child? Are you like okay? She keeps her smile, but something about her looks sad when she says that. I wonder why. It takes me a moment to process her words, despite the obvious meaning behind them. I'm not sure how the situation has come about. We're in the middle of the big city, so naturally the place is crowded. There are plenty of customers waiting to be seated. In other words, the staff kindly asked us to leave after a while, even though we were in the middle of a conversation. I still haven't fully digested what she means either, or digested the food. That's why.
すごくいい雰囲気のお店でありますね。
I end up taking Sonya back with me back to Lion House. Okay. It's the only place I can think of. Excuse me. Where we're able to sit down and talk. Sonya looks like a middle school student at best, so I doubt much harm can come from this. There's also the fact that the police might have stopped us somewhere. Hard to avoid when a girl in her school uniform is walking around with a foreign child at night. Huh. Oh, I forgot about the cat! It's a kitty. It's a kitty cat. It is! It's a kitty cat! Same reaction.
なんでそんな言葉知ってんのってレテあんた来てたんだね
Feels like I haven't seen Leith in a while, actually. Oh my god. It's Parka. It's Parka in disguise keeping an eye on her. I don't fucking know. I know it's been fine since it still made sure to eat the food I'd leave out for it.
にゃんこにゃんこ。日本の猫さんも可愛いってあります。ほらパサジール、猫さんってありますよ。
Yeah, I wonder who did the voice for that. Cat noise. The meow. Oh! Is it? Oh my god! Passagier is in reference to Sonya's stuffed animal. It's one of those small plushies you find in toy stores. They fit nicely into your hand. This one's a bear, so it might be appropriate to call it a teddy bear. Sonya is poking and prodding Leith with it. It scratched me up if I tried to do the same considering its personality, but right now it's sitting back and taking it despite its obvious displeasure. I wonder if it realizes dealing with a child. I think cats do that. I think cats are more wary around human babies. And also, like, small humans. Because she's not a baby, she's, like, middle schooler. I'm actually 11, so shut the fuck up.
仕方ない今日はミルクも用意してあげるよ
ソーニャにもお願いするってあります。
Oh my goodness. She's going to die.
はいはいちょっと待っててね
At least I can go about things at my leisure since we're in my house. I place Sonya's chair at the table and Leith's bowl underneath. Once she sits down, I take the seat across from her. Leith wastes no time in diving into the milk once he's finally free of Sonya's grasp. I guess I really didn't enjoy that experience. Yeah.
さっきの続きってありますね。
Alright. She places both her hands on the glass and takes a sip. You can tell she was raised to be a proper lady based on how she handles things like that. I thought the same back at the family restaurant. I nod as it means to urge her to continue. She almost seems like a different person compared to how she was messing around with Leith.
言葉通りの意味でありました。ですが、お姉様はソーニャのことを信じてくれたでありますね。だからここに連れてきてくれた。ちゃんと話してあります。ソーニャのこと。でも聞かせてほしいであります。どうしてソーニャを信じてくれたですか？
自分の名前を教えたり次の脱落者だって宣言したりするメリットあなたにはないでしょう。それに私の情報を探りたいって感じでもなかった。
It's not like I trusted her out of instinct, and certainly not because she's a kid, and so I took a detour on our way back here. There could have been someone following us on the off chance that she's cooperating with other participants, so I wanted to make sure of that first. Okay, she's starting to be more hyper-vigilant. My prediction for a late game where she's actually paranoid is... It's building up to that. I don't know if we're gonna if we're gonna see that, if that's the direction it's gonna go, but we're still kind of on that track. But it's actually good that she does this.
だからね、あなたには悪いけど、あなたのことを信じたわけじゃないんだ。
I only trusted myself.
お姉様は顔に似合わず優しいでありますね。
Okay.
一言余計なんだけど。
Oh, excuse me for a sec. Okay, are we good? Okay, we're good. I'm... It's gone for 15 minutes. We'll... Hopefully this scene is gonna end soon and we'll stop there. Just as we are about to get into the thick of it, it leaves meows and lies down underneath the table. I assume he feels satisfied after having its milk. Sonya watches it curl up with a smile on her face. There is a cat near me too, and she is also curled up. It's very adorable. If only you could see her. Oh no. However could we solve this predicament? Anyway, any follows would be very, very much appreciated. And if we can get to affiliate, we can maybe get some subscribers and actually try to get like an on-camera stream. That would be pretty cool, I think. Yeah, that would be very cool. Also, the money would be pretty cool too. Anyway, continuing.
Sonyaの家も猫を飼っていたってあ
Oh,
ります。
ill? Huh.
ソーニャは病気でほとんど家を出ることがなかったでありますから。猫と本とインターネットと、そしてパサジールが友達でした。ソーニャの死因はもう分かったでありますね。病気です。もっと詳しく知りたければ教えますが、必要ですか？
うん。今はあなたの話を続けて。
Well, not enough to create a new card, it's a lot to listen to her life story instead. The fact that she's telling me this means that she's fine with revealing her cause of death. She really is convinced that she'll be the next person eliminated. But why?
女神の選定によってソーニャは一時的に生きることができています。お姉様と同じように。ソーニャはパパとママに選定のことを話しました。
Whoa.
いつもより元気なことがその証明になりました。
Do they know you're going to die? Oh, what the fuck kind of... If they believe her, so... What the fuck kind of... What are they feeling? Oh my god. Okay, well, obviously, her family does love her. That's... Yeah, okay. So it's about the illness that she couldn't go out and go to a family restaurant, not because their family wouldn't take her to one. Okay.
ですが、ソーニャの病気は選定の最後の一人になっても治るものではないと思います。つまり12週間寿命が延びてもその先は長くはないということです。
選定が終わっても病気は完治するわけじゃないってこと？
That's dark.
はい、そういうことだと思うであります。だからソーニャは負けてもいいと思ったであります。代わりに許された時間だけでも外の世界を見たかったであります。
Oh my god.
家の中から世界を見てソーニャは日本に憧れていたであります。日本の文化、忍者侍ではない現実の日本に触れてみたかったであります。カードブックを手にした時少しワクワクしてしまったであります。ソーニャの大好きな日本のアニメでは魔法少女はこのようなカードとカードブックを使って変身して戦っていました。
They're talking about Card Captor Sakura. Probably.
ソーニャの未練は世界を見ることであります。それを叶えたかった。
Her words trigger my own book lighting up, creating a new card. Sonya smiles when she sees that happen, but unlike her smile in the family restaurant, there's an echo of sadness within it. Her childlike innocence clashes heavily with her mature realization that she's just come a step closer to being eliminated.
だからしばらく様子を見た後、パパとママと一緒に日本へ旅行することに決めたのであります。ソーニャが脱落したらパパもママも旅行のことを忘れちゃうかもしれないですけれど、せめてもらった時間を有意義に使ってみたかったのであります。
でも一人でいたってことは何かあったんだね。
はい、そのソーニャたちが様子見をしていた間に、ソーニャの使命のカードを持っている人はソーニャたちの行動を見張っていたみたいなのでありました。空港に着いてタクシーに乗ったのですが、それこそが罠でした。
罠？
はい、選定の参加者さんでありました。パパとママを殺されたくなければ情報を教えろ、そういう脅しをされてしまったのであります。
The worst possible situation springs to mind when I hear that. It's exactly like something Alan Scorpion would do.
その人って12の男の人だった。
いいえであります。
Yeah. Denial only serves to worry me more. All it means is that there are others willing to resort to the same methods as him.
2人組でした。3番の男の人と11番の女の人です。
その2人が。
Yep.
会ったことありましたですか？
I shake my head in response. Numeral 3, Federico Carminati, I ended up with his name card during the initial distribution. Having seen him in the dream world multiple times, I know he's tall and slender. As for numeral 11, she's the one who's responsible for eliminating numeral 7. Looks like Alan, her eyes are as frigid as they come. Those two working together definitely comes as a surprise. I figured I would have the advantage against numeral 3, because I have his name card, but if he's with her, that's no longer the case. Realizing that I've interrupted her, I apologize and wait for her to pick up where she left off.
パパとママのため、ソーニャは自分の情報を教えたであります。しかし、男性はそれだけでは済ませない。持っているカードを全部教えろと言ったのであります。ソーニャは11番の方のカードを持っていたであります。未練のカードです。
Interesting.
だから言ったであります。教えてもいいでありますけれど、仲間割れの原因になるでありますよと、女性の方を見ながら。怒られるかと思ったであります。でも11番の女性は笑ったのです。
Oh, why is there a voice line for? Okay, is this a mistake? It's a little bit of editing errors here and there. Not anything worth getting upset about in the game. Damn, she's got more guts than that old geezer despite her age. That's what I'm talking about. Wait. Huh, this sounds like Frederic. I can't believe Sonya threatened me, you know? Jeez, if she wants to see the world, maybe I'll let her after showing that kind of bravado. Say what you will, but I like this kid. Numeral 11 was apparently full of cheer as she praised Sonya for her rebellious act. She had a condition, though. Sonya wasn't allowed to be with her parents until her last day, as a means to prevent them from trying anything. So long as she did that, they were willing to both spare her parents and let her do as she pleased.
そんなの勝手な条件だ。ソーニャのためじゃない。女の人が情報を知られたことを察したから、未練と顔を手がかりにソーニャたちが情報を集めるのを防いだだけ。ごめん、いきなり大声出して。
お姉様は怖いですけど、 優しいでありますね。脱落させるべき相手のソーニャのために怒ってくれるなんて。でもいいんです。パパとママが助かるであります。それにさっきも言ったようにソーニャはどうあっても長くは生きられないでありますよ。
ソーニャは死を受け入れているの？
死を受け入れるでありますか？
死んでも仕方がないって思ってるってこと？
はい、選定が始まる前からです。ソーニャは自分が病気だと分かった時からずっといつか死ぬって分かってましたから。
That might explain the sadness in her smile earlier. I'm not sure whether the doctors or her parents told her, but she's likely been informed of how long she has to live multiple times. But just by looking at her, I can tell that she's been raised with love. However, her inevitable death has probably been looming over her head ever since she found out. Just because she knows and has accepted her death doesn't mean she isn't scared to face it, of course.
辛かったね。
Oh, I pat her on the head. I should have learned with Keiko that getting attached to other participants is dangerous, and yet I can't stop myself. Sonya likely gave up on her life and chose to act like she's fine for the sake of her parents and those around her. I refuse to believe that she's truly accepted it, though. Her expression right now proves it to me.
死ぬのは分かっていたことであります。だから辛くないと思っていたでありますが、本当に辛くないのか今は分からないであります。
I don't have the means to provide her with true salvation. I do feel for her, though, knowing she'll have to go through what she has at such a young age, but I can't give my own life in exchange. I can't forget that I just met her today, too. We're not even friends. And yet for some reason, I'm racking my brain for her sake. This entire time, she's been wearing a peculiar expression on her face. She likely doesn't understand her feelings yet. Not that I can blame her, I'm in the same boat. Leith has disappeared at some point during our chat. The light reflects off its empty milk bowl, casting a strong shadow. I'd spend the rest of the time just patting Sonya's head. Okay. That is... Oh, that's a scene change. I do have to go. Fuck. Okay. Well, now we're going. Save data. Yes. All right. Oh wait, I could have gone from here. Back to title. Yes. Oh. Oh. Hold on. Did this title page always have her without glasses? Or was it with glasses now? Not. I was gonna take note of it going to the main menu screen, but now that I think about it, I think this character, sprite, model, whatever, I don't think I ever had glasses. I'll go back and check. But anyway, that's gonna do it for the stream and also the video if you're watching on YouTube. There's a lot to consider. Oh my goodness. I wonder if it would be mean of me to go to the next game. I don't feel like I'm getting burned out yet, but I also don't think we're gonna finish this game, especially since we're only in the 4th week of 12. I'm pretty sure we're not gonna finish this game before I not get bored with it, but like try to like get burned down on it and want to play something else. We'll see what happens tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific time. It could be Fatal 12. It could be a different game. Although I do want to see where this plot line with Sonya goes. I am wondering. I'm still I only hope that Orenga has to experience electing someone early on, and it is still early in the whole divine selection process. So, anyway, with that being said, thank you for watching. Any follows or YouTube subscriptions, likes, and comments are appreciated. You can, if you enjoyed this entertainment that I have provided, you can go to my Ko-fi. Also, there's a Patreon, and I should probably be linking my Patreon to the YouTube video. God damn it. Okay, cool. Anyway, so, yeah. It'll probably be Fatal 12 tomorrow. I don't know, but maybe not. So, anyway. This has been Fatal 12. I've been Calypso, aka Mint Carousel, and I'm signing off. Have a wonderful rest of your day.